Thank you so much for joining me for today's live. I'm so happy to have you here and I'm excited to be working out together this morning. Today we have a full body 30-minute workout. We're going to be including a warm-up and a cool down. We're not going to be using any equipment. So all you'll need is yourself and your mat, maybe some water. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We're going to start off with some spine mobilization. So we're going to come down into an all fours position. We're going to drop the belly, rolling the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then we're going to scoop the belly in and drop the crown of the head. Good. So we're going to arch, curving the spine, and then round as we push mat away. Good. Arch, roll those shoulders down away from the ears. And mobilize the spine, stretching as you push the mat away. It feels really good, especially first thing in the morning or whatever time you're tuning in. A cat-cow stretch is always a good way to energize you and relieve any sort of stiffness or tension in the spine. Good. Let's take two more, pushing the mat away, scooping your abs in, and then lowering. Nice work. And now I'd like you to bring your spine back into neutral. Amazing. From here, we're going to go into some shoulder protractions and retractions to warm up those shoulders. So we're going to push the mat away, broadening across the shoulders. The arms are straight. And then we're going to keep the arms straight but sink between the shoulders so that the shoulder blades knit together. So let's try that again. We're going to push the mat away, protracting the shoulders, drawing the navel in, and then retract the shoulders, let the shoulder blades come back together. Good. So exhale, push mat away, protract the shoulder blades, and inhale, retract those shoulder blades, let them come together. So moving between the two positions and adding that core engagement. So as you push the mat away, I want you to also lift your belly button in towards your spine like a vacuum, sucking that belly button up toward the spine as you push the mat away. Amazing. Last two. And final one. Nicely done. Now let the spine come back into neutral. We're going to extend the right arm out long and we're going to lift and lower the right arm. Our challenge being to keep it level, the right shoulder level with the left. So we're lifting the right arm and lowering it. Lifting and lowering it. So imagine your torso like a tabletop. Your shoulders are level, your hips are level. Your spine is nice and long. We're not rounding or arching through the spine. And we're just really mobilizing and waking up that shoulder joint, squeezing the shoulder muscles at the top of every lift. For 4, 3, lengthening through the fingers, 2, and 1. Nice work. Switch sides. Left arm out. Make sure that right shoulder is level with the left as you lift and lower that left arm. Good. Maintaining that tabletop with your spine. Nice level shoulders, even hips. Core engaged as we breathe out. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Start contracting that shoulder muscle with every lift. Good. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Now from here, we're going to step the right leg back, step the left leg back, coming into a high plank. The shoulders are above the wrists. Gently push the mat away and plug your belly in towards your spine. Hold here for 4, for 3, amazing work, for 2, and 1. Now slowly with control, lower your knees to the mat if you need to. Lower your whole body down to the floor. Nicely done. Now from here, stretch the arms out long and take the legs about shoulder distance apart. From here, your gaze is on the floor and your chest is hovering just above the mat. We're going to inhale here and exhale, bring the left hand toward the left foot and then lower. Exhale, bring the right hand toward the right foot and lower, alternating sides. reaching back for those toes. Looking out over your shoulder here, so you're stretching and mobilizing your neck at the same time. Get a lot of length as you lift that arm up and over. Good. We've got 4. Reach a bit further. 3. Lengthen through the spine. 2. Nice work. And last 1. Now take your forearms down to the mat so they're parallel, and you can just prop yourself up. Spine is nice and long, chest is lifted. We're going to start to warm up the hips and the glutes here. So we're going to lift the right leg, squeezing the bum, and then lift the left leg. So we're pointing through the toes, squeezing the quads, tensing the glutes as we lift alternating leg up. Toes are pointed, spine is nice and long. Good work. I want you to breathe out to lift, and every time you breathe out, you're engaging your belly button to your spine, tightening the core so that you're also protecting your low back as you lift and lower, isolating this work in the glutes and the thighs. Good. Calves are warming up here too. The more you point through the toes, the more you'll feel it. Good. For 4, 3, 2, and 1 more each side. Amazing. Now we're going to take our hands by our shoulders, push up, and come into an all fours. Walk your hands out a little bit further on the mat and really spread your fingers, curl your toes, and pike up into a downward dog. So we're going to really stretch and lengthen through the spine, flatten out the upper back. You might need to bend your knees to get that lift, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to have your legs straight here. We're going to stretch, letting the head hang heavy between the shoulders. From here, we're going to go through a couple moves that are going to transition us right into our workout. So we're going to lift the right leg up, lift and stretch, and then bring right knee in toward the chest so the shin is parallel with the floor, and then push up and away, lifting and lengthening that leg. Let's do that again. Bring the knee in, shin parallel with the mat, shoulders above the wrists, and then send that leg back. 3 more like this. Nice work. And 2, abs in. Last one, we're going to come in and hold the knee in toward the chest. Shin is parallel with the floor as we lift and lower. Lift, scooping belly in and lower. 3 more. For 3, abs in. 2, push mat away. Last 1, and lower the foot down to the floor. Send the hips up and back into your downward dog. Stretch it out. Nice work. Okay, moving over onto the other side. We're going to lift that left leg up nice and high. Get a nice stretch. Then bring the knee in, shoulders above the wrists. Send the leg back, stretch and lengthen, opening up in the hip a little bit here, and then bring the knee in, belly to spine. Good. For 3, and 2, stretch and lengthen, and then draw it in. And last one, we're lifting and bringing the knee in, holding it parallel with the mat and pushing mat away. Really scoop belly in. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the foot down to the floor. Send the hips up and back. Take a nice deep inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth. Lower your knees, take them wide, and send your hips back towards your heels, stretching out in child's pose, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Amazing. Now bring the knees back to parallel. We're going to cross one arm across the mat so it's parallel with the top of the mat, and then the other arm lowers down right in front of it so your arms are parallel with the top of the mat. So forearms are level on the mat, elbows are below the shoulders. We're really lengthening through the spine here as we step the legs back into a low plank. Now from here, we're going to Open up to the side, lifting the right arm, and then lower right arm down to the mat, and lift the left arm up into your side plank. Reaching and stretching through those fingers. If that feels really intense for you with the legs straight, you can lower that bottom knee down on the mat as you transition from side to side. So either keeping your legs lifted or your knees lifted, or one knee down. We're gonna keep that lower hip elevated as we side plank. Good, moving slowly and with control, keeping the chest nice and open, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Great work, stick with it. Really engaging that core as you lift that lower hip. For 2. And last one, we're gonna hold it here. Now, options, you can take your hand behind your head or keep it outstretched. You want that elbow below your shoulder, and you're either holding up here in a full side plank or lowering that bottom knee. I'm gonna lower my bottom knee for this. Extend the top leg out long, chest is open. I'm gonna tap the toe to the front of the mat and then to the back of the mat. Trying to keep the torso really stable here. That bottom hip lifted as we tap forward and backward. Forward and backward. Nice. Good. We've got 4 and 3. Nice work. For 2, hold strong. And last one, pause in the middle. Bend both knees and lower the hips down. Now we're just gonna bend the knees a little bit more, bringing the heels a bit closer toward the bum. We're gonna lift back up into that side plank, and as we lift, we're gonna extend that top leg. Lower and lift, extend. Good, we've got 10 of these. 7, lift, expand, you've got this. 6, tightening the core. 5, abs in. Keep that chest nice and open for 3 and 2 and 1. Lift and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing work on that side. I'd like you to bring your foot in towards your thigh. Lift up, reaching and stretching, and now fold over and stretch the side body. Reaching for those toes. Don't worry if you don't quite reach them. Just taking a breather here. Trying to keep both bum cheeks down on the floor so you can really feel this stretch in your side body for 3 and 2 and 1. That felt good. Okay. Now we're gonna come over and do the other side. So we're going to come up into our side plank. We're going to lift up nice and high. We're gonna lift that top leg. And from here, we're gonna tap and lift. Tap and lift. So make sure you're all set up here. You've got your elbow below your shoulder. Your chest is nice and open. You're creating that nice long line with the body. Tapping forwards and backward. Try not to, if you've got your hand behind your head, not pushing your head forward. You want your neck in line with your spine. Keep that bottom hip really lifted. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Lower the knees down. Bend the knees a little bit more and then lift. And as we lift, we're expanding that top leg. Lower and lift. Inhale and exhale. Amazing. We've got 5, abs in to lift. 4, lift that bottom hip up nice and high for 3, and 2, and final 1. Hold it there. Lift the leg a bit higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing work. Take the foot in toward the inner thigh. Reach up and over and stretch that side body. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Regulating the breath for 3, and 2, and 1. Nicely done. So now we're going to bring the feet forward on the mat and bring the hands behind the body. Fingers are pointing toward the toes. We're really going to open up through the chest here. Extend the legs out long. We're going to lower and straighten the arms to lift, bringing the knees toward the chest. Lower and lift. Extend. And as we bring the knees in, we breathe out and tighten the belly button in toward the spine. Really crunch it in. Good. Squeeze the legs together, point through the toes. Good. Bend the arms and then push up as we crunch in, strengthening the upper, lower, and middle abs. Good. We've got 4, 3, stick with it, nice open chest. 2, and final 1, lower your feet down to the floor. Now from here, we're going to get into some tricep and upper body work, and core work. So we're gonna lift up into a reverse tabletop. So your heels are below your knees and your wrists are below your shoulders. From here, we're gonna inhale. And as we exhale, we're gonna lower and bring the knee in, and lower and bring the knee in on the opposite side. Lift to tabletop. Alternate knees coming in toward the chest. Good. So notice I'm pushing right back into my full tabletop between each repetition. Good. Nice work. Push up through the heels of the hands, working the triceps as well as the abdominals. Really pull navel in every time the knee comes in toward the chest. Let's go 5, 4, I know it's tough, but you're doing great. 3, and 1. I was gonna go right into the tricep dips, but I think I need a little stretch first of all. So fold over the lower body for a moment, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3, and 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, we're going back into our reverse tabletop and we're going to go into some tricep dips here. So really make sure that your elbows are pulled back behind you. The chest is open. We're going to elevate up into our reverse tabletop. Then we're going to bend at the elbows and push back up. Bend at the elbows and push back up. So try not to let your elbows splay out to the sides. Keep them pointing out behind you. Tighten the core as you lift, working the triceps at the same time. We've got 6, 5, give it a lot of energy. 4, drive up through the heels of the hands. 3, 2, and 1. Stretch your left leg out, stretch your right leg out. We're gonna hold in a reverse plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep that bum lifted. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Lift up and over and move into another back body stretch. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. for 3 and 2 and 1. Nicely done. Roll back up, roll out your shoulders a little bit, and we're gonna move into some glute and thigh work. So I'd like you to come down into an all fours position. We're gonna lower our forearms down to the mat. I'd like you to interlace your fingers or place your palms so that they're on the floor. We want our elbows below our shoulders. So from here, I'm going to extend the left leg out nice and long. We're gonna lift that left leg and lower, lift and lower. Then we're gonna come up, bend, extend, bend, extend. So 2 lifts, 1, 2, bend, extend, bend, extend. Lower, lift, bend, extend, bend, extend. Nice work. Lower, lift, squeeze the glutes, lower, lift, squeeze the glutes, bend, extend, nice work. Lower, lift, bend, extend, good. 3 more sets. Now as you bend, I want you to really pull your heel towards your bum. Good. Last set. Lower, lift, bend, extend, Now we're going to hold on the extension. I'd like you to lift the leg an inch higher and start pulsing. Little pulses up with that heel toward the ceiling. Really lengthen through your spine here. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Nice, long, relaxed neck. Belly is plugged in. Pulsing and holding. Good. Give me 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Good. Now we're going to drop the left forearm down to the floor and extend the right leg out on a diagonal, so we're switching sides. And from here, we're going to lift and lift on a diagonal, bend, extend, lower, lift, bend, extend, good. Keep it up. I want you to be focusing on your waistline here as well as your side booty and thighs. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears, really lengthen through the spine here. Lift, amazing work. Good. Lift a bit higher, bend, extend, good. 3 more sets. Good, last 2. Lift. Nice work. And final set. And bend, extend. Now we're holding it here and going into this pulses, but this time on a diagonal. So you're pulsing just like we did in all fours, keeping that leg elevated, squeezing the glutes, lengthening through the spine, tightening the core. Breathing through it. I know these are tough. Last move on this side for a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Whew. Okay, let's sink back into a child's pose and just give ourselves a bit of a rest and regulate the breath before we switch over onto the other side. So really lengthen through the tailbone here. Enjoy the stretch. Breathing in through the nose, filling the back of the rib cage, and slowly exhaling through the mouth. Nicely done. Okay, let's do the other side. So moving into your forearm position, elbows below the shoulders, core is engaged, knees below the hips. Let's extend that right leg out long. We're going to lift, bend, heel to bum. Lift, bend, extend. Nice work. Lift it up, squeeze the bum. bend, extend, bend, extend. Good. With every lift, I want you to tighten your abdominal wall. I want you to squeeze your glutes and contract your hamstrings. Good. Really make this movement count, make it effective by focusing on that mind-muscle connection with those right glutes and thighs. Good. Amazing. Last 2 sets. Lift, lift, bend, bend. Last set. Lift, lift, bend, and bend. Now we're extending. Lift the leg an inch higher, plug belly in, and pulse it out. Squeezing those glutes, working hard. You can do it. Keep that leg elevated and straight. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Okay. Lowering the right forearm down to the floor now and extending the left leg out long on the diagonal and repeating that sequence. So abs are engaged, working into the obliques as well as we lift and lift. Oop, I went for 3 lifts. Bend, extend, bend, extend. 1, 2, bend, extend, bend, extend. Lift, lift, bend, extend, bend, extend. Nice work. Working that waistline, working the gluteus medius. Good. Really contracting those muscles as you pull that heel toward the bum. So we're not just kind of like limply flopping the leg in. We're really contracting those glutes and hamstrings as we bend, and then we have a full extension between each bend. Good. Again, making the movement really count, getting the most out of this. 3 more sets. Lower lift, bend, extend, 2 more. Keep it up, you're doing great. Last set. Bend, extend, bend, extend. Find a lot of length out through that big toe and pulse. Abs engaged. Neck is nice and long, shoulders down away from the ears. Lifting that leg, squeezing those muscles for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Nice work. Take the knees nice and wide here. Walk the hands out in front. Keep the hips elevated and soften forehead down to the mat. Coming into puppy pose. Stretching and elongating through the spine. Breathing deeply for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, we're going to come down onto the back and stretch out those glutes. So roll down to the mat, 1 vertebra at a time, and soften head, neck, and shoulders. From here, we're going to cross the right leg over the body, the right leg over the left leg. Interlace your fingers, take them behind your left thigh, and just hug your left knee in towards your chest. Getting a nice deep glute stretch here, opening up in the hip. I'd like you to connect your lower back with the mat so you really feel the stretch deep into your lumbar spine as well as your glutes and hips. Relax those shoulders, relax the face. Draw nice deep inhales and slow, controlled exhales. For 3, and 2, and 1. Switch sides, left over right. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Hug that right knee in. Stretch deeply into the glutes. Keep your tailbone pressing down onto the floor if you can for a complete lower body stretch. and exhale. Now from here, I'd like you to bring the soles of your feet together, and we're just going to stretch out the inner thighs and continue to open up in the hips as we draw the outside of the feet inward. Again, feeling that nice stretch in the spine as well as in the hips and thighs for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your feet down to the floor. Roll over onto your stomach. Take your hands on either side of your shoulders and peel up into an abdominal stretch. Breathing deeply here in through the nose and out through the mouth. Stretching out that abdominal wall for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself gently up to a cross-leg or kneeling position facing me. We're going to lift our shoulders up by our ears. Inhale, and exhale, roll them down and back. Let's take 2 more. Lift and melt shoulders down and back. Nicely done. Last one, lift and melt them down and back. Amazing work. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, guys. You did great. I know it was challenging, but I hope you feel wonderful and you're ready to start your day. I look forward to moving again with you next time, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, guys.